Unscripted.
It looks like we're going to be able to get some relief for PlayStation 5 owners in terms of update that's going to be fixing some issues with the PlayStation 5 as soon as early next week. And this is really great news for anybody who just got a PlayStation 5, or if you're planning to give a gift of a PlayStation 5 this holiday season. So yeah, this is really cool stuff. And again, I think that this is stuff that Sony's obviously been working on for a while now, and we continue to see them work and adjust and make things that are going to work out better for everybody in the long run. And I think that that's super important as well. And hopefully they can continue to get stuff kind of rolling in a positive way as gamers and everybody gets closer to the holidays. Obviously a lot of people are going to be getting a PlayStation 5 for Christmas or whatever particular holiday that they celebrate. And even with that being said, I still think that it's super cool to see that everybody is sort of kind of playing it and just having a good time and just enjoying next generation. And I think that that's always going to be the most important thing going into a next gen console thing, is like we can all sit there and go, oh well, kind of what's happening here, what's happening there, but I think as long as fans in general are kind of happy with what's happening, and I think that that's fine. It's like even with the stuff like the Xbox Series X or S, if people are happy with it, then they're happy with it. I think that that's fantastic. I think that that's great, and I think that as long as they're happy, then they're happy. Then I'm not going to try to talk anyone out of their happiness. At the same time, I can sit there, I do content, and and we talk about video games, so we have to kind of keep that in mind as well. It's just a situation where we're going to continue to be able to talk about these things in sort of an open format. It doesn't mean that you hate that particular thing. It just means that for the most part, you're not afraid to talk about it, even if there is a problem. So I think that that's something that we're starting to see more and more come out, is where people aren't afraid to kind of talk about the problems and things like that, because that's how things get fixed, right? Like if you look at things, like look at the Xbox side, for instance, right? We look over there on the Xbox side, they're not fixing anything for the most part, right? Like games that should have been something that every podcast and every YouTuber talked about first at the beginning of every podcast and ended with at the end of every podcast. So the fact of the matter is, the fact that we haven't been hearing about how games need to be the first and foremost thing that they fix means that we don't get that fix, and that's really unfortunate to say the least. And I do hope that we see them sort of come out there and address some of these issues, but now it's kind of like too late. We have these two new Xbox consoles and literally nothing to play on them besides old games or multiplats, which both those things, old games and multiplats, can be played on the new PlayStation 5, but you also have new exclusives, and that's very exciting from a gamer standpoint and like from my point of view. So I do think that that's really great, but this is going to end up looking pretty well for fans that were hoping for a fix to some issues not too long ago. So like I said, very exciting times, and I want to get into it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It really helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. I have a pretty crummy small channel, and if you guys want to support it, then I think that that's something that it would be great. So for me, as far as I can say, I have a good time doing this. We're kind of winding down for this year, having a good time with this and stuff like that. So again, just much appreciation. It's a shout out to all the old subscribers and new subscribers and everybody in between. You guys are all fantastic as well, so you guys are very much appreciated around these parts, and thank you guys so much. Again, there have been issues. No launch of hardware goes issue free or trouble free, so we do have that to sort of kind of look at, and we kind of we kind of have some interesting stuff to sort of look at and go, hey, you know what, this is very, very interesting. This is how these things kind of happen, and but how fast can they turn it around, and how fast can they fix the problems? And so now we're sort of having there are some stuff that is going to be fixed, like PS5 brick, right? If you have a PS5 that got bricked ever since launch, some users have been reporting issues with their PS5 consoles. Here's how to fix a PlayStation 5 that's bricked or won't turn on. If you're having issues with your PS5, you're not the only one. In fact, due to an error somewhere down the line, the PS5 consoles are getting bricked and not turning on altogether. Thankfully, there's a way to fix the brick PlayStation 5 at least temporarily. Hopefully Sony's working on the patch, which supposedly might come out as early as next week, to sort of address these issues and kind of get things worked out. But in the meantime, you can avoid it. There's a lot of identical reports on PlayStation 5 systems refusing to turn on. Players are pushing for a solution to the problems, and now it seems like there is one. First of all, we know that the PS5 rest mode is bricking consoles. Even if you're not encountering any issues, they recommend turning off PS5 rest mode right now. Remarkably, it appears that Black Ops Cold War is bricking consoles too, and even Xbox devices are encountering that issues. I did a video on that as well the other day. Black Ops Cold War was causing some major issues for Xbox Series X owners and stuff like that. Fixing a brick PS5, according to several users, there is a fix for the PS5 bricking issue despite devices refusing to power on. It appears that this fix can at least get the system operational again. To fix it, make sure you follow these steps. Unplug the console and plug it back in. Then quickly hold the power button for 15 seconds. This will perform a full hardware reboot, and a reboot building storage warning will appear, and then you have a functional PS5 once again. So bricked is something that a bit of a term that has kind of come out, and a lot of people go, oh, well, what does that mean? Well, you know what, it's bricked means sort of different things to everybody. To me personally, years ago, if I had heard the term, oh, my console was bricked, it meant that it was really just, it was screwed. It was broken. You had to get a new one or get that one fixed. Nowadays, it doesn't necessarily mean that, because there's so many different things that we can do with rebooting them and things like that. So that hopefully fixes some of the problems as well. In case the steps don't work for you, they recommend repeating the process after leaving the console unplugged completely. After a while with no power, the PS5 should clear its memory, and you can fix any rest mode issues. Like the whole thing, when you unplug your console and plug it back in, I suggest do that for at least a minute to begin with. Sort of like how you would hard reset anything. Kind of power supply it. Just kind of check that out, and then do what the steps are. I will link this so you guys can check this out as well. Again, this is like one of those rare times where we see a game contributing to breaking a console consistently. And so again, like, I've played Black Ops and I've had no problems on my Xbox Series X. I think that I guess it depends, but it also kind of depends on what settings you have and stuff like that. Like, mine didn't have ray tracing on because I had 120 frames mode on, so that wasn't affecting me, whereas people that were trying to use ray tracing obviously had a little bit of an issue and had some problems and things like that. So that's something that sort of comes out there and fixes. So again, be on the lookout for an official fix as early as next week. So yeah, it's very interesting to see how these consoles are sort of bringing everything to the table the way that they are. And just for me personally, even though I didn't think there would be a huge difference between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions of games, I'm super pleasantly surprised the fact that not only is there no difference, but in a lot of cases the PS5 is actually ahead of the curve and things like that. And we could chalk that up to whatever thing people want to try to chalk it up to, tools or what have you. But at the end of the day, I just think that just means, regardless of what you think, that Sony was more prepared for next generation than Microsoft was. And the interesting thing about that is, and the funny thing about that is just the simple fact that Microsoft technically supposedly gave up in 2015 to prepare specifically for next gen, and still were underprepared. Sony, on the other hand, kicked butt the entire generation, released a new AAA exclusive this past year in Ghost of Tsushima, released The Last of Us 2, released Neo 2. I mean, I know that's not first party, but still, it's a console exclusive. They released Dreams, they released all these different games. They still had 4 first-party titles to launch next generation with, and they still have more coming next year. So it absolutely blows my mind how they could be so far ahead of where Microsoft is, and especially after everything that sort of happened, we sort of see this sort of come out, and it's just one of those things where you just kind of go, wow, man, what did Microsoft do to sort of screw up so bad to where they can't get anything kind of working right, you know, and it's just really unfortunate. But I do hope that we continue to see some things continue to get better in terms of these fixes and stuff like that. I know that's going to be something that comes along the line here soon, and you know, look, for me personally, I'm just looking forward to you know, all the stuff that we can see from these consoles, the games. That's the most important thing, and I want everybody to be able to game and just be able to have a good time doing that kind of stuff. And like I said, that's the most important thing at this point. So yeah, very much love to see it. I will link this so you guys can check it out. Expect some big fixes coming soon, and that's exactly what we're going to be getting as early next week. So yeah, that's definitely some good news. Can't wait to talk a little bit more about this stuff, and you know, I'm just super exciting. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys want to hit me up on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, Xbox Live MOH space Crapgamer, PSN is just Crapgamer. I respond to everybody, so you know, just shoot me a line, shoot me a text, whatever, and we will, you know, talk about stuff and, you know, have a good time. You know, that's what I'm here for. And I hope you guys all stay safe, happy, and healthy, and have great holidays and all that kind of good stuff. It really does mean the world to me that you guys support the channel. Take a minute to consider subscribing or liking the video. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.